Hello everyone, Storm11 here. Today we'll be doing another weather discussion live stream this afternoon. This will be the last one for the next couple days because I'll be on vacation starting tomorrow. So I want to give y'all an update on weather things. We got tropics, potential blizzard across parts of in the upper Midwest later this week, and the rainfall that's going to be going on for today into tomorrow. But yeah, how's everyone doing today? I'd say welcome to anybody that's going to be joining the stream here. So we're first going to take a look at what's going on right now. And there is rain finally going on across parts of the east. Much needed rain going on. So we're going to kind of look into that. We'll take a look on radar and satellite here. You can see we got showers of thunderstorms going on across from parts from the northeast through the Ohio Valley into parts of the plains here. Now there is a marginal risk for severe weather stretching from like Bowling Green, Kentucky, which is around in here, for Nashville and Memphis, Little Rock. But it's nothing too serious. It's basically the main threats are damage to winds and hail, and that's pretty much it for the threats here. There has been some flash flooding issues going on across parts of the northwest of Arkansas. There, they got flash flood warnings going on there. I don't even know how much rain they got. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started looking into models here. So this is the GFS here. So we're going to hit that rain along the cold front should intensify later into tonight, into tomorrow morning, but as it pushes eastward, it'll die down and loses this moisture. Now, if we look into the Euro side of things, basically a very similar solution here. As we kind of continue on here. And basically the same thing. It dies down, loses this moisture. Pretty much. Rainfall amounts. You can see widespread 1 to 3 inches, but some isolated spots can see up to 4 or 5 inches of rain. That is possible at this time. If we look into the NAM, you can see some areas could see, like I said, about 4 or 5 inches of rain. That does continue up into the northeast. The GFS here, same solution here, 1 to 3 inches, pretty widespread, which is some good news there. And let's go ahead and move back to the GFS on tropical tidbits here. Watch this. There's high pressure starting to develop, and also there is Arctic air basically really starting to go on parts of the northwest. You can see snow is happening across parts of the northwest there. Also, we move on. There's going to be a low pressure system really deepening here. There's also going to be a cold front that should just really flies, and I'm not even kidding. Here's your low pressure deepening, very windy. Here's your cold front right here, hitting some moisture here. And seems like the cold front kind of leaves the low pressure behind. But you can see your cold front's basically right in here. And look at all that snow going on the backside. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Snow for potentially for Oklahoma. How about that? Even New Mexico. You really have to zoom into this to see this. But I could see it. You can see that snow just for parts of Kansas and New Mexico, a little bit up in the mountains. That's crazy. It's pretty ridiculous. You can see that really moves on. There's your low pressure really starts to deepening. You can see that does stick around across parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin, and it really dies itself out there. So there's potentially some blizzard conditions up there. You can see those isobars are very close together. You can even see some severe weather is possible from Missouri back down to Texas here at this time here. That is a very strong cold front there. And if we look into the Euro, I'm correct. Let's go into Wednesday here. Your low pressure will be somewhere in there. Let me look into the settings real quick. No, that's not what I want. Let's go to the menu here. Let's see here. Settings. So, trying to find the low pressure symbols at here. I don't know where it is here. Huh. Let's see here. No, wait. No, that's not it. That's not it. Here, let's see what that does. Yeah, I don't know what I just done. Let's turn that off. Let's exit it out. Alright, here we go now. So I cannot find the settings for... Oh, here it is. It's right here. Pressure. Right there. May have to reload this. Turn on the pressure. Here we go. Here's your low pressure right here by Denver. As we continue on, this here will start to deepen here. Very similar setup to what the GFS has it. I'm wondering to see how far the snow could go far south. Pretty big storms going on down across Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri, even starting to reach up to Iowa, and even down to Texas there. Even snow is reaching pretty well far south as New Mexico and Oklahoma. That's going to be record-breaking snow because that is very early this time of year. You see that really starts to push eastward, and that's a very strong high there. That's record-breaking lows across the plains, even record snow amounts. So we'll start to move up north to this low pressure here. As you can see here, it starts to slow down. The cold front does lose its intensity, but the winds, though, the cold air will still really come in. You can see that low pressure just sticks around there for a while. The next 10 days for snowfall. You can see the snowfall amounts is kind of a different placement here. You can see snowfall amounts could be nearing 3 feet for some spots there. If we move back here, look into the GFS here. You start to see this snowfall to start to blow up. Yes, it really does start to blow up there. You see, again, they both have a really good agreement, but models do like to overestimate snowfall amounts pretty far out, like at least a week out. So we're not 100% sure what snowfall tells, but my guessing is probably at this point could be 1 to 2 feet at this time. But you can see the snowfall accumulations here, like around Oklahoma and New Mexico. We'll see from the Euro, very similar solutions here. So they both got a really good agreement here, except for the north here. The GFS has got over Minnesota, while the European model, however, has got over the Dakotas. We'll see about that, but let's continue on here. I do believe that later on in the time frame, something's going on somewhere. I think Monday there's not much going on. Here's a low pressure system developing over the Texas Panhandle. That's actually, that low pressure is actually moving pretty far south. Here, you can see high pressure. That's not the polar vortex, but that's an Arctic high pressure. That's a Canadian high right there. But let's look into the GFS here. It can go a little further out. We gotta go into middle October here. Something's a little bit interesting here. Very similar. It's not really a similar solution, but they do both predict a low pressure system develop somewhere in there. But it seems like it develops a little up further north. See, there goes your next cold front there. Wow. I highly doubt this, though. That's the freezing line right there. And you're talking about as far south as Kentucky. I highly doubt that. But let's look at temperatures here. Wait, that's not what I want. Hold on. Let's see here. That's what I do not want. Look at these temperatures, though. Let's back this up. For the temperatures. Oh, here we go. You can see here's your well-defined cold front here. Your low pressure will be over Iowa at this point. Very warm temperature. So you can see that slips by. Look at those morning lows. Talking about 30s. That's record lows going on across parts of the east, I do believe. Near record lows, I should say. Look at Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, 40s. Looking even in Florida, even parts of Florida showing upper 50s. That's ridiculous. And look up in the Northern Plains, mid-20s. That's something else there. You say that dies out, then eventually the next cold front moves in. And you see that cold air really sticks around. This is also matching well to my forecast here so far. I have this most of the north, pretty much in this area, snow potential. Even parts of Maine not even have snow potential. So my October 2019 forecast has been really matching up so far to this. And I'm pretty happy about that. So let's look into the anomalies here. You can tell here that that cold air really sticks around across parts of the north. And it seems like warm air just sticks around to parts of the southeast. Unfortunately, well, the extreme southeast, I should say. Back this up. See where that strong cold front is. Here it is. Here's your strong cold front here. Yeah, that's near record lows. That's negative. That's 20 degrees below average. And I kind of doubt it's testing this is in Celsius. That's just kind of ridiculous. But I would say this would be like a Fahrenheit, even though it's a Celsius. But still, 20 degrees below average, just well below average there. You can see it goes for parts of Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Iowa, Missouri, Minnesota. Just well below normal here. You can see that really expands eastward there. So the type of pattern where we're going at right now, if we just make this just move along, is colder air just stays across parts of the Great Lakes till that time. But after that, you get another plunge of cooler air in here. you can see that really starts to stick around in mid-October into late October, but we will see about that. The tropics, however, we do have two areas to watch. This is one of those areas here. That's a 30% chance. It's a low percentage at this time. This one here, I'm not 100% sure where this one's going to be going. But I'm going to guess by looking at models, I don't think it's going to have a threat to the United States. It's a 50% chance the next 5 days here. But it seems like the tropics are going to be mainly quiet. We may have to watch the Caribbean because a couple models have been showing something, at least down in this area here. Maybe. But that was a couple days ago. I highly doubt it's showing that anymore. But overall, the tropics looks to be pretty quiet here. Not much of a threat to the United States. This is probably the only one to watch here. That could be a nor'easter. That is a possibility here. But yeah. Also wanted to discuss some winter thoughts here into this live stream. So let's kind of talk about winter thoughts here. So expect the next winter forecast to be probably sometime later this week. Maybe talking about over the weekend. By the way, my birthday is going to be next Monday, so I could do a birthday live stream. I'll be more than happy to. That's what I'm planning on. I'll be 17, but I'm not 100% sure what to do on there yet. It kind of depends on the weather. It could be boring, but if we can look onto the models here for sure. Yeah, October 14th doesn't look like much of any activity, just by the looks of it. We look on the Euro as well. Just not much happening. Maybe potential severe weather across the plains. We'll see about that. Overall, it seems like the weather looks to be quiet for my area. I'll say cooler than average temperatures. It's probably going to be the main story for my area. Looking to be pretty chilly, I'll say that. So, all I do know is that the Kansas ball did update a couple days ago. So this is its new run. This is for October. Highly disagree with this. First of all, it's showing warmer than average temperatures. I mean, must been showing a potential ridge across the central United States, as you can see here. Could be, I'll say, the models are trending to be below normal across parts of around the Great Lakes and Northeast there. If you look at the PNA, the AO, and the NAO, those things there is looking to become coming together to have an active jet stream. What that would happen is for the east to have more of a stormy type of setup, especially across parts of the Ohio Valley, the southeast there. That's exactly what we want. Even parts of the northeast there, where lows will really start to deepen into this area here. And you got this ridge here, blocking here. So maybe the west could be more average here. The Northwest Bay has some wetter than average conditions for October here, but we'll see about that. But so far, it's been really matching to my forecast. Hi, I'm Warren Moore. Welcome to the stream. So that's a look into the Kansas model. Well, I have had doubts for a Kansas model, though. At least for the winter time frame. But here's October. I do agree a little bit more of the October forecast. Above average precipitation across parts of the north, even the northwest there. In some other areas, just looking to be either neutral or a little bit drier than normal. Let's go on ahead and go to the CFS model here. See what its prediction is. See, the models are starting to match up a little bit here. By the looks for precipitation, it looks like it could be pretty active across the east. I don't doubt this at all because the east has been warm and dry for the past couple months, and the atmosphere wants to even itself out. So you get those ridges and troughs. So, like here in Kentucky, earlier this year, we actually have above normal precipitation. Then, a couple months ago, or a few days ago, I should say, we have warm and dry conditions lasting for a couple months. And now, what we're starting to see here is cooler than average and wetter than normal conditions here. That kind of gives you an idea that the atmosphere is always trying to equal itself out. But since we've been very warm and very dry, it could turn to very chilly and maybe very wet. So, that does include anybody in the southeast here, because I know a lot of people southeast has a very similar type of weather like Kentucky has, even across parts of Ohio Valley or even the Midwest and the Great Lakes there. I'm not sure about the Northeast though. I think the Northeast have a little bit more on average, I do believe, but they did have record high temperatures. I know that, but just not as often, I would say. Let's look into the Jamstack model here. See here. So kind of looking through winter thoughts. All I'll say is that the changes I'm making is across the west and the south. Across parts of the central and eastern United States, or north, whatever, looks to be staying the same for the most part, but that jackpot area is starting to move a little bit, and I think the northeast is starting to change as well a little bit here. Now, I've been doing some research from other people's forecasts. I kind of look at them. I mean, most of them I look at as meteorologists. Some of them are just weather enthusiasts, well, I like to call them. I mean, I do look at every one of them. See kind of the average here, what people's thinking. I'm not copying them in any way. If you compare my forecast to others, some will be similar, but they're not exactly the same. Everybody's forecasts are different. But this is what the Jamstack model shows for the fall time frame, September to November. I think Kentucky will have a bad winter. Yeah. I do agree with you, Warren. I think here Kentucky can see a bad winter. Kentucky here, I remember the last winter was wild and actually very wet. And that was kind of a similar winter in the past. Very wet and mild. So having that 2 years in a row is just not that great. I think Kentucky could see a cold and very snowy winter. That's what's been adding onto, if you know Chris Bailey, he's been talking about it all over Twitter, talking about back in 1939, looking very similar. And adding it onto the winter, it was very cold and very snowy. So, I don't doubt that Kentucky will have a bad winter. I don't think we'll have a mild winter this year, where I live, but we'll see. I'm still keeping the jackpot here for now. So, continuing on to the Jamstack model here, you can see there's above average sea surface temperatures across parts of I think that's the P&A right here. So this is a positive P&A. What that creates is a ridge in the west, trough in the east. Now the NAO is positive. No, that's a negative, because you kind of got a green with block going on here that creates a trough in the east. Now, so far, the first part of fall has been the opposite, but changes are starting to come in that the east may have a colder and wetter fall than the central and parts of the west, so it's going to be warm and dry. Now, the far west coast, however, is not going to be warm and dry. It could be more averaged there. In the AO, we kind of have to look into surface air temperatures here. You can see here, it's positive, which that brings that trough in here. So there is some strong agreement here. Well, looking to the AO, the PNA, and the NAO, there's a strong indication of a trough. But if you look at surface air temperatures, it's not really that impressive at all. But it does indicate a trough there. You can tell here, there's a strong ridge across parts of Canada there, and even Greenland there. If we look at precipitation anomalies here, we'll see how well the Janstag's been doing. Not doing a really good job with it. You can see most of the United States is above average. The far northeast is below. Parts of Texas, New Mexico, down southwest, look at be below, even the northwest, look at it below. So, basically, the Janstag is not doing a good job with precipitation, but it's been doing okay with the temperatures. Except for September, though. It was completely wrong for September, but this is averaged from September to November, so it probably will get it right if we look it back when we reach it to November. But since we're October, changes are starting to occur here. We're starting to have a more active pattern changes here now. Where we used to had a very strong trough across the northwest, while the central eastern United States have a very strong ridge there, and even record highs. So that's kind of getting my thoughts out of mind. So, well, not quite. That's just talking about fall. Let's talk about winter here. You can see a very similar picture here. You can see most of the United States looking to be above average with precipitation, except parts of the southeast. If we look at sea surface temperatures here, you see here we got a negative NAO. We got more of a weak positive PNA here in the AO. However, it's looking to be positive. And look at this. Most of the United States looking to have a trough. But if you look at the past update, you can see it's been different. And it's been kind of going back and forth a little bit. I mean, look at that, June. That was crazy. And there's May. Here's April. There's March. Seems like there was a pretty good consistency of colder air, but now it's starting to turn a little bit warmer, and it's going back and forth. So it's not 100% sure with surface air temperatures, but I kind of get the gist here of what it's kind of indicating. So it's kind of going back to the cooler type of thing. At least it's trying to. Oh wait, we got to go back. Here we go. You can see there. But yeah, that's kind of all I got for you guys. I'll have the next winter forecast again later this week. This will be the last one for a couple days. So I want to go ahead and make a quick update. I'll make an update with the pattern change. We do have a current pattern change going on, and that's the cold front going in parts of the east there, bringing some rainfall totals 1 to 3 inches from across the Tennessee Valley up into the northeast. And some areas could see up to 5 inches of rain from right now to tomorrow morning. So yeah, if y'all guys got any questions, you can put it in the chat right now. Someone told me Kentucky gets a tornado outbreak in every 7 years. I don't know about that. Maybe we'll see. I remember the last tornado outbreak was back in 2013. I'm pretty sure. See here. So every 7 years, we'll see if that person's correct. His prediction, there may be a tornado outbreak for Kentucky next year. We'll see about that. That's probably kind of averaging things out, but we'll see. Well, I haven't seen a tornado outbreak in a very long time here. But we'll see about that. When we get into winter, we'll start to talk about spring a little bit and severe weather. But not right now. It's too early to do that. Oh. So, I think no one's got any questions, so I'm going to end it here, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this weather discussion number 4 live stream. If you all did like this live stream, hit that like button. If you really do like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell notification you never miss an upload. If you all guys got any questions, if you're watching this as a video, you can put in the comment section down below. I'll answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.